Okay, hello everyone. We have Aidan today from Toronto. He's freezing in Toronto with a lot of snow. So this is great, Aidan, to have you here with me. We have been talking a little bit about your life, the thing that you are doing, why you love what you are doing, and this program is about believing yourself, believing your business, and how those beliefs helps you to create the momentum that you have right now and the things that you are doing. So I would like to start with Aidan as a person. Like I don't want to think like all the things that you have done because I know that you have done a lot of things. But as a person, maybe the moment that you want to share that was a moment that you were not like as secure or that knowing that what is the thing that you want to do. What is that moment? How was Aidan before, and when you started to believe in yourself? What happened? It was an event. It was something that you started to create.
Mhm.
Several things that you did.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for having me. First of all, I appreciate the opportunity to speak and to speak about myself and speak about Frost, my business, a little bit. Yeah, looking at a time when when I wasn't as confident in my abilities was probably March of 2021. It sounds a little specific, but time kind of slowed down because that was kind of the height of the lockdown here in Canada. We had a curfew. Um, it was impossible to see people, and beyond the some sort of technological medium like Zoom or Google Meet. Um, and I think that was kind of the height of kind of my self doubt. I was working in a job that I liked the people, but I didn't love what I was doing, um, and I wasn't really motivated or feeling inspired by what I was doing and the work that I was accomplishing on a day to day basis. And I think I started to believe in myself a little bit more when I think like a lot of people, I just got really, really, really bored in lockdown. Um, Going from sitting at my desk to lying in my bed 5 minutes later at 5:01 p.m.
Mm.
Um, and I got really, really bored, and so I just started up some side projects. Some of them didn't materialize. Some of them just exist on the internet now, and they're not really doing anything. And then myself and some friends started talking about doing some side projects. They were also working and uh, weren't totally in love with what they were doing, and we just kind of came up with the idea for Frost. And once we got that going, that's when I think that's when I started to believe in myself more. And I think it just came from a space of being content and being happy with what I was doing, and seeing a direction that I was in control of rather than somebody kind of dictating that for me on a day to day basis. And I think the excitement of that is what kind of took me out of my lull, and you know um, I guess
Mm.
still pushes me to today.
And if we go a little bit like when you were younger, because I know that you have done amazing things. For example,
Sure,
and I
sure.
agree with you with what you are saying because really that happened to everyone. Like the
Yeah,
lockdown, it was like
it
what I
does.
can do. I am bored about being here. So, but what I want to find here is, and something that
Sure.
I am finding a lot is you have done a lot of things, and when you become an entrepreneur, it's something that is not easy. You have like something that okay, this is going amazing because of this reason, and now it's going down, and that now it's again going better. So in order to succeed in those like roller
Yeah,
coasters, you need to create
yeah,
a belief in yourself. So that's maybe
yeah.
uh,
Uh, yeah, I can share a little bit about some things that happened to me when I was younger. I think, as I told you before, I grew up playing soccer, and I played very competitively, and it was something I was really passionate about. And I think I had a few experiences in soccer that allowed me to deal with the roller coaster that is, the entrepreneurial life. Um, I had a lot of ups and I had a lot of downs. I had a lot of opportunities and a lot of missed opportunities too.
Mm,
You know, going way, way, way back when I was 12, 13. In Canada, we have like the national team program, but there beneath the national team program, um, there's the provincial program, so the best players from the province, and then beneath that, there's the regional program. And basically, as you progress in age, you can progress through this program. So at like 11 and 12, you're playing in the district program, which is kind of just like a collection of cities, and
mm,
then you play in the regional program, which is just a collection of more cities. The next year, and then you go beyond that, the provincial, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to lull you. I don't want to bore you with the details of that. But I had started with the regional program when I was 13, and then I actually got cut at the first round of cuts. I had gone through a really big growth spurt, like a lot of 12, 13-year-olds, and I was just kind of an awkward giraffe at that point. Couldn't really run very fast, and for a striker, that's not really that's not great. So I ended up getting cut, and that was kind of my first experience at a young age um, with being released, and I guess um, experiencing failure.
mm,
And but my dad was very influential in me kind of recovering from that. Um, he told me it's okay to fail, and what matters is not that you fail; it's how you recover from those failures.
mm,
And he pushed me to work really, really hard. I ended up coming back to the regional team a couple months later because I had worked really hard with a personal trainer, or sorry, with a trainer um, who had helped me kind of become comfortable in my body and gain my speed back. Because I wasn't a great player, but I was really quick, so that was definitely important. So that was kind of my first experience, and then I had a lot of experiences like that in soccer. Like a lot of people who don't end up making it. The story ends with I got badly injured, and that's true for me as well. I had a lot of opportunities, or you know, um, potential opportunities with colleges down in the states to go, either the D1 route or the D2 or Ivy League route, and those didn't materialize for me because I had a career-ending injury that kind of put a hold on that. But that brought me to Waterloo, and I guess my time at Waterloo has uh, reinvigorated me. I've met some really really cool people, like for example my co-founders, um, and I wouldn't have done it any other way at this point, um, because Waterloo's been a fantastic experience, and I guess that's another example of something that seems like a failure but actually turns into something positive.
and as when you started to work after, I understand that you study in mechatronics or something like that.
Correct.
Yes,
Yeah, mechatronics engineer. Yep.
that's what is that? I am an engineer also, but for me, mechatronics was like, okay, I
Yeah.
want to ask Aidan, what is that?
Awesome. Yeah, it's I don't know. The way I've always kind of characterized it to people is it's like the if like software engineering, electrical engineering, and systems design engineering had a baby, with a little bit of mechanical, then that's what mechatronics engineering is. It's a really cool degree, and it gives you a lot of opportunities to pursue different fields. So people in my program um, they'll go into electrical engineering, or they'll go into mechanical, or they'll go into software. Big thing right now is AI and autonomous vehicles, and we've got some pretty cool opportunities with that in my program. So that's kind of what it is. Um, it I think its real value comes from introducing you to so many different disciplines of engineering. Um, so.
So you study that's
Mhm.
really interesting. It's like I believe that it's something like robotics or something similar, or
Yep, very similar to that. Exactly.
okay. And then you started to work from your side, or you started directly the entrepreneurship after you
So
finished the engineering.
I had done co-ops through like I've done a bunch of different internships, and that's kind of how I gained my experience in the professional engineering field. Um, and then yeah, I started up entrepreneurship right after finishing those.
And you said that you had some failures in the entrepreneurship also.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody does. When I
I
started
know.
up, when
I
I
am not
started up,
saying that you are the only
yeah.
one.
Oh no, no, no. I'm fully. I'm proud of my failures at this point. Yeah, I have. And I don't even call them failures. It's not like I lost a lot of money or anything like that. They were not opportunities that that they started off as great ideas, but they, as you learn and learn and learn, you kind of start to realize why things haven't been done in the past. Yeah, so I guess the big one for me was at the same time I started up Frost, I started up another, I want to call it a project at this point, called Workspace. And what we were going to do was provide a marketplace for people who wanted to um, rent out commercial space. So whether that's office space, it was kind of like Airbnb for commercial real estate. So office space, warehouse space, whatever you want. Um, and it's a team of engineers, and we had one real estate guy, and I think we were just kind of out of our depth on the business end. We had a great software product coming up, and that was going really, really well. But on the side of, like, on the business side, we didn't have a great grasp of real estate and what it means to be successful in real estate. I didn't have any inclination about the headaches that um, the legal aspects and insurance aspects can cause. And we ended up shutting down Workspace simply because um, as an entrepreneur, you're going to have to deal with, there's always going to be things that you don't like. And it's just how much, for me, it's always just been how much do I really dislike these things? What is it's a scale, right? How does it balance out? And for me, the big headaches were the legal side of it and the insurance side of Workspace, and they were just headaches that I found very tedious and very, very frustrating. And we ended up shutting down Workspace because um, those were not things that I wanted to deal with. They um, at the end of the day, once we started getting like deep into that problem, it was the cons really outweighed the pros. And yeah, so that's why Workspace did not materialize. But it was a great experience. I learned a lot about the real estate market, which is definitely useful knowledge going ahead, just for my own personal life, right? Um,
Yeah. And quick question, because I know that we as engineers, and I see we because I am also an engineer, when we start to, we have some projects or something to do, we start to focus like, okay, I need to improve my skills in this craft because this is the thing that I want to do, and you can focus
exactly.
so much in the project, in the software, in the side of having something amazing, and you forget about all the business side, like, okay,
Yeah.
I have to be marketing, I have to be selling, I have to do other things. So how are you managing those things in your entrepreneurial world?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that uh, I've gained a lot of, I guess, useful business experience through some consulting work I did in the past. Um, that was mostly in the nonprofit sector, but the same concepts still translate. It's just the structure of there's no shareholders in nonprofits. Everything is the same, but money goes back into it goes back into your quote business rather than into the pocket of shareholders. And so that is where I gained a lot of knowledge, or gained my knowledge about the business world, and how we're managing it now. I think we still have a very engineering approach to our business problems. Actually, everything we do is structured around solving problems, and I mean fundamentally that is the concept of engineering: solving problems. It's just within engineering, the problems we're solving are in the tech space. With Frost and my work there, we are focused on um, identifying issues that are brought to us from our customers, from our user base,
Mm.
and then solving those based off of um, consistent feedback. So one person will reach out to us with a problem, and then we'll speak to others about the other clients or other users, if they're experiencing the same thing and if it's something they would find valuable, and and then once we collect sufficient enough feedback and sufficient enough data, then we start to make business decisions, and whether that means delete, like taking out features or adding features or making alterations. Uh, that's subjective, but
And
that's the typically the way we approach our business problems.
I know that when we were speaking before, you were telling me, okay, I love to help people. I love to help them, like to improve their support system. I love
Yeah,
to be doing that. So where do you think you started to get this like passion to help people in these areas?
yeah. I think when I was a kid, my dad um, used to run a um, like a soup kitchen every Christmas through his work, and in the Niagara area. Um, and I think that he used to bring me along, and as a kid, it's kind of like the Christmas time, and so you want to be like relaxing, having fun at home, and your dad pulls you out to a soup kitchen, you're kind of like, come on, man, like I don't want to do that. That sounds awful, right? And I was like 12 when we started this, so I was just a naive child, but that's okay. And I think that my experience at those soup kitchens is kind of where it started because soup kitchens provide warm, good meals to people who are homeless or um, who are not privileged, who don't have the privileges that we in first world countries kind of become accustomed to. So whether that's like a strong roof over their head or food on the table, and that's what the purpose of soup kitchens is. So I got I gained a lot of really valuable life experience through those opportunities, because I met people who I wouldn't have been able to meet otherwise, and I like it was an eye opening experience. Is what I would say.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
and seeing, I think there's one very vivid memory where three generations of a family came into the soup kitchen, and we ended up talking to them. And we found out that they were all living in this really really small apartment, which was probably no bigger than the room I'm in right now, and it's a wife and husband, their three kids, and a grandmother and grandfather, and they're all in that soup kitchen looking for food because they can't, they couldn't get it for themselves, and listening to their story and listening to how thankful and appreciative they were, I think was of our support was kind of the dopamine kick that I needed at a young age for helping people, because I think that experience has stuck with me for a long time, and that's why I got involved in nonprofits, and why at Frost now our goal is to serve our customers and serve our clients. Um, me and my co-founders, that's our focus, is to make sure that our product is helping them as much as possible can. It's we're not just doing things that necessarily we believe in. It's things that people want and that can help others.
So, what is your approach when you are using what you are doing right now? You start to understand what is the need from the customer, and then you start to customize to what that
Yeah,
need.
yeah. So Frost all started off. It wasn't necessarily, I guess, quote unquote, our idea. My friend Josh, sorry, my friend and co-founder Josh, um, has a friend of his own in his hometown in Mississauga, and he owns a gym. And obviously, when lockdowns started to happen, gyms got really badly affected by that, right? And everything kind of had to move online. And really, if you didn't have a website or some sort of online presence, it was really difficult for you to operate and I guess compete. And no, Josh is a software developer, and obviously his friend, the gym owner, knew that, and so he reached out to Josh and said, "Hey, can you help me out with a website? Like, I got to get something going so I can, offer classes online." And so that happened, and then Josh built that first website on his own, and Then he and I started talking about it, and we kind of came up with we kind of assumed, I guess, that this was a recurring problem. This was something that not just this one gym owner was experiencing. It was, there was going to be a lot of personal trainers specifically that were going to have this problem. So that's why we got started with personal trainers, actually, is because we had that experience, and then we talked to, I want to say, like 50 personal trainers, and we kind of heard the same thing. But like, we need an easy way to manage our clients online because we can't do it in person anymore. We're getting too many DMs now because people are trying to do online classes, and we don't have a website to kind of like funnel and streamline all of this, so we can just sell classes. Um, and we're losing opportunities that way because we just can't respond. So the first instance of Frost, the MVP was just a web page, and then the ability to pay for online classes, and those classes were pretty simple. It just like sent you a Zoom link the day of, and it sent you a reminder beforehand, and that was kind of how we started Frost. And then that same process of listening to people's problems and then talking to other individuals about them to see if they're having that same experience is how we've continued to grow and expand Frost. All of the products that all of the service offerings that we have, or product offerings that we have now, are all the result of feedback that we've received from our personal trainers. And now moving into, now that we're expanding into kind of the freelance business consulting space, whether that's marketing consultants or business consultants or, whatever it is, right? Maybe it's some sort of like freelance accountant. Um, we're not diving right into it. We're trying to work with people first off, do like a beta test, see if it's working, and meet with them on a monthly basis to listen to their feedback, to figure out how we need to adjust our product offering to suit their needs. And that's been successful for us so far. I know it's been successful for so many startups in the past, so I have no plans of ever changing that ideology and methodology.
Okay, awesome. And that's where you are starting to like mix like your passion to help people, your passion for
Exactly. Exactly.
software, your passion to.
Exactly. Yeah. And like, to sum it all up, at the end of the day, for like at Frost, we're all about iterating. We're totally fine with putting out an awful MVP or first offering, so long as we continue to iterate, and then that product materializes into something fantastic and useful for people. Um, that's kind of the way we see it, and that harps back to the no longer being afraid of failure, because I've experienced it personally. I know Josh has experienced it personally, um, and being okay with that failure, and knowing what you need to do um, to come back and to ultimately be happy with what you're doing.
Awesome. And if we go back to the believe in yourself, believe in your business, how
Sure.
everything changes, like in your belief system that you created with what you told me about the like about when you were at school playing soccer, and then you moved to the university. So you started
Mm.
to create some type of belief system that at the end, even the failures that you share with us here, that you say, I agree with you, it's not failure because it's more learning
Mm.
than failures. So how them help you to create all this belief system in Aidan that became like, okay, now I know that even if this works or this doesn't work, I know that I have to find a path to create something, you know.
Yeah. I think I think the one word I would use is it taught me patience. I think it taught me these failures taught me the value of patience, because um, and understanding that this too shall pass. Um, these failures, they hurt. Like, the one thing I will say about failures is no matter how much you learn to recover from them, they will always hurt the same. Like, it's always going to be a kick in the butt, right?
Yeah.
And what I think my experience at a young age and throughout my years has has taught me is the value of patience and understanding that it hurts now, but if you take the right steps and you're patient with yourself first
Mm.
on like an emotional level, and then at whether it's a professional or a personal level, um, if you're patient, and you follow those those right steps, you'll get over it. You'll come back better, in fact, most often.
Mm.
Um, but understanding that it's going to take time, and that it is going to be a rough path. Recovering from those um, is I think what has formulated my who I am today. My approach to business and my approach honestly to my life as well, because my approach to business and my approach to my life are not dissimilar. They're just different applications of the same thing.
Okay, awesome. And okay, I believe that this has helped us a lot. Do you want to share something about how you are helping people, or how they can start to connect with you if they want to know
Sure.
more about this part of support? I need support because I don't know what to do
Yeah,
with all these
absolutely.
things.
Yeah, so I guess I can talk. I mean, feel free to reach out to me. My LinkedIn is just my name, Aidan Wood. My Instagram is at frost.ca. So anybody who's just looking to talk or to learn, whether it's business related or not, I'm always open to having conversations. I don't care if you're paying me or not. I I just want to. I'm excited by people, and I'm excited by opportunity, like learning opportunities. Uh, but when it comes to Frost, yeah, we are a SaaS business, and we offer. It works a little bit like Wix, where you have, but there's two options. So you can have a Wix website builder where you can fully customize your own website, and you are opened up right away to a full suite of software solutions. So you can have create memberships for your users. You can create classes or seminars or boot camps, or you can have individualized bookings. There's blog options. There's FAQ options. It's a full website suite, right? But then the second offering is, and one that is new for us, um, is integrations. So we know a lot of people already have websites. That's obvious. Um, but oftentimes those websites are either static or they're outdated and they're looking for updating, and people just don't have the software expertise, whether they're a personal trainer, a yoga instructor, a business consultant, a marketing consultant, um, to make the software changes, but they don't want to pay the software developer, $1,500 to come back and make the changes that they need and make the updates. So what we do with one of our products at Frost is um, provide software integrations. So we have a software suite that integrates directly with your existing website, so you maintain your brand. um, but you can, it's an add-on, so it'll add on a new page to your website where you can sell your seminars, or it will add on a user portal where people can sign up with, I'll give you as an example. They'll sign up with businesstobelieve.com, and that'll give them the opportunity to sign up for a membership with you, where they can get a meeting with you every week, or every month. I'm just spitballing here, just to kind of
Yeah.
provide an example. And that's how we're trying to help. Our goal is to make sure that business professionals have the opportunity to be as successful as they want to be. Um, and we work in an online space now, so it's crucial that they have full access to a software suite that can help them sell their business. We want to see people become entrepreneurs themselves, because we've had our fantastic experience with entrepreneurship, and um, being competitive in an online space is really crucial.
Awesome. And just to finish, what is your dream for the future? What is, okay, if
My dream
Aidan
for the
has
future.
all the money, everything is working
I
perfectly.
I want to. If I had all the money in the world, or Frost is super. If for Frost, for me to feel satisfied with Frost's success, we will have inspired people to take control of their businesses and their lives by becoming entrepreneurs. We want to allow people to see a path to being their own boss. And we think that we can do that by allowing them to maximize their business opportunities to the bottom. So seeing people take control of their lives and be satisfied with the business that they're building, at a personal level, and maybe it's a revenue. Um, that's what means for me across, and seeing that across industries, in fitness industry or in the business world. Um, that would be success to me. Is hearing people say, I've taken control of my life and I'm a successful entrepreneur now because of Cross. And if just one person says that to me, then I will be satisfied. I will have felt successful in my endeavor with this.
Okay, maybe last question, because I was thinking that the other one was the
Sure.
last. But in regards of your belief system, what do you
Yeah.
think you need to challenge in yourself to go to the next level?
So I think I need to challenge. I'm an introvert, and by nature, and I think I need to challenge myself, and that's what I've been trying to do recently. Is challenge myself to get out there and to talk to more people and to learn more. As an introvert, I love watching YouTube, and I think that I can gain all the world experience I need off of YouTube because I can just listen to some guy tell me about how things are. Um, I want to push myself to get out there more, and I think that that's a big challenge for me. It has been my entire life, but it's something I know now is really important. Just off of the few conversations, well, not few conversations, but the few conversations I've had since pushing myself to get out. Um, they've been really eye opening, and I've learned a lot of things both at a professional level and at a human level that YouTube wouldn't have taught me. So I think that's pushing myself to do that is kind of the next step for me.
Okay, awesome, Aidan. Thank you very much, really, for
Thank you
being
so much.
here. Having this
Yeah,
conversation was amazing.
yeah,
I know that there is a lot of things that we can be doing, and really, if you need some help of understanding how to create systems in your support world,
yeah.
all the areas that okay, I want to show up, but I don't want to mix with all the mess with the systems. Okay, Aidan, it's a good guy to start to know. So thank you, Aidan, again
Thank
for
you.
this conversation. Was amazing, and knowing more about yourself, like as a person, and how you have created all these beliefs in your life. It was amazing. So thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Okay, see you.
Cheers.